You walk into the gun shop, fill out the 4473 like you've done a dozen times, and then boom, denied. No explanation, no follow-up, just a bureaucratic black hole. And fortunately, that's apparently exactly what HR 2184 is trying to fix. What's up, everyone? This is Ted from Line 45, and today I'm breaking down what this bill actually does, who it could help, and why every gun owner, especially the ones who've been burned by a bad NICS check, should be paying real close attention. Before I start, I would really appreciate it if you would push those buttons below, the subscribe button, the notification bell, all of them. This is not necessary, but those little clicks help a brother out. Plus, it pushes me to give you more valuable gun-related content on your screen. Now, buckle up, and let's get back to the video. If you've never had a NICS denial hit you out of the blue, count yourself lucky. But ask around, and there are thousands of folks who walked into a gun shop ready to buy, filled out that 4473, and got hit with a big fat denial. No warning, no reason, just denied, and then radio silence. For some people, it's a simple mistake, a name mix-up, a record that was supposed to be expunged, or a decades-old charge that legally shouldn't disqualify them. But good luck getting someone at the FBI to fix it without a long, drawn-out mess. That's the thing. When you're denied, it feels like you're guilty until proven innocent. You can file a challenge, sure, but many people never hear back. Some are stuck waiting 6 months, a year, or even longer with no answers. And during that time, you're frozen out. Can't buy a gun, can't finish a transfer, no clear path to correct the record. You're just stuck in limbo. For regular folks, like hunters, veterans, CCW holders, first-time buyers, this can hit hard, especially when you know you're clean. The system right now gives the federal government all the power and zero accountability. That's what makes HR 2184 a bill worth watching. It's not trying to change who can own guns. It's trying to make the government answer when they get it wrong. Because if they're going to deny someone a constitutional right, they damn well ought to back it up and do it on the clock. So here's what HR 2184, the Firearms Due Process Protection Act, actually puts on paper. If the FBI's NICS system denies your background check, and you believe that denial is wrong, this bill would force the government to either prove you're prohibited or clear your name within 60 days. That's it. No more ghosting people for a year. No more open-ended appeals that go nowhere. Just a clock and a hard deadline. Under current law, you can challenge a NICS denial through a formal process called the Voluntary Appeal File. But there's no timeline for the feds to respond. And in the meantime, you're hung out to dry. Some people have missed hunting seasons, self-defense purchases, even transfers of inherited firearms, all because the appeals system has zero accountability built into it. HR 2184 gives lawful buyers a fair shot at getting that record fixed. It wouldn't automatically approve you. It just says the government has to either show evidence you're barred from owning a gun or fix the record and let the purchase go through. It adds a little balance to a system that's been tipped in the government's favor for too damn long. And for a lot of folks, it's not just about one purchase. It's about their name, their reputation, and their rights. This bill gives those people a chance to be heard, not buried under red tape. It's not a cure-all, but it's a damn good step toward making the process less broken. You'd be shocked how many good folks get hit with wrongful NICS denials. We're not talking about guys trying to skirt the law. We're talking veterans, first responders, working-class guys with clean records, even grandmothers buying a revolver for the nightstand. NIMIST record update, a name match with a felon, or some old sealed court record that was never supposed to be public, and boom, you're blocked. Now try explaining that to your family when you're told you can't pass a background check. Hell, try fixing it. You can't even talk to a real human at the FBI unless you're lucky. And the appeals process? It's a black hole. For a lot of folks, that denial sticks around like a scar. Even if you eventually win your appeal, the damage is already done. I know a guy who got flagged over a nonviolent misdemeanor from the 92nd that never should have been disqualifying. He didn't even know it was still showing up. He had to spend almost a year to clear it, and that was with a lawyer's help. Most people don't have the money or time for that. That's why this bill matters. It's not about politics. It's about regular folks getting caught in a system that doesn't give a damn about due process. HR 2184 forces the government to either step up and prove its case or step aside and let you exercise your rights. Because when you're denied a gun without cause, it's more than an error. It's a full-on rights violation. If you've ever tried to challenge a NICS denial, you already know. It ain't fast, and it damn sure ain't fair. The current system doesn't treat you like a citizen with rights. It treats you like a problem to be ignored. You file your appeal, send in fingerprints, maybe even mail certified letters, and then you wait, and wait. And most times, you hear nothing back for months, sometimes even over a year. Here's the worst part. There's no legal deadline, no accountability. The FBI can just sit on your case and let it rot in a folder somewhere while you're stuck without a way to buy, transfer, or even claim a family heirloom. And if your job depends on carrying, tough luck. That denial might cost you your paycheck. I've heard stories of folks getting denied because of paperwork errors from the 70s. Others were flagged because their name was similar to someone else with a rap sheet. One guy had to prove he wasn't a convicted felon because someone with the same birthday in a different state was. Took him nearly 2 years to clear. That's not a background check system. That's a constitutional rights bottleneck with no off-ramp. The system is broken, and the people who built it aren't in any hurry to fix it. That's why H.R. 2184 hits so hard. It forces the feds to finally do what they should have been doing all along. Either prove you're disqualified or get out of the way. Now I'll be straight with you. H.R. 2184 isn't some magic fix. It's not going to take your name off a red flag list. It doesn't stop the ATF from overreaching. And it sure as hell doesn't protect you from state-level nonsense like may issue, permitting, or mag bans. This bill's focused on one thing: putting the heat on the feds to clean up their mess when they screw up your background check. It doesn't create a full due process system. It doesn't let you sue the FBI if they sit on your appeal too long. And it won't stop wrongful denials from happening in the first place. So yeah, it's limited, but that doesn't make it useless. The biggest thing it's missing? It doesn't put teeth behind that 60-day deadline. There's no penalty written in if the feds ignore it. No damages. No lawsuit provision. So if they blow past the 60-day clock, you're probably still stuck chasing them down. That's a weak spot, and anyone serious about fixing this system needs to recognize that. But here's the deal. It's still a start. And right now, gun owners have almost no leverage when this kind of thing happens. H.R. 2184 doesn't fix everything, but it moves the goalposts in our direction. And sometimes, especially in this political climate, that's the best you're going to get. Would I like it to go further? Hell yeah. But I'll take a clock over radio silence any day. Look, I've been around long enough to know when a bill is just noise, and when it's actually worth fighting for. H.R. 2184 isn't flashy, and it's not going to make headlines like national reciprocity or a new SCOTUS ruling. But for folks who've been stuck in the NICS denial hole, it could mean everything. This bill tells the feds, plain and simple, you don't get to screw up someone's record and then go dark. You've got 60 days to prove the denial was legit, or you fix it. That one change could save people months of waiting, maybe even years. And it sends a bigger message, that gun owners aren't going to keep taking bureaucratic abuse lying down. I get that it's not sweeping reform, and yeah, it needs more teeth, but you've got to start somewhere. You put this pressure on the system, and then you build on it. Next time, maybe we can add penalties for missed deadlines. Maybe we force full transparency in NICS records. You can't get to step 2 if you never take step 1. Backing H.R. 2184 doesn't mean you're satisfied. It means you recognize a chance to fix a small but brutal part of a broken process, and you're willing to support something that actually moves the needle for real gun owners. If you've never been denied, good. But if you have, you already know why this matters. Bills like H.R. 2184 don't pass because people tweet about them once and forget. They pass when lawmakers feel the heat, and that only happens when folks like us keep the pressure on. That means calling your rep, emailing their staff, showing up to town halls, and making damn sure they know this matters to real people, not just lobby groups in D.C. And don't just push once and walk away. These bills live and die in committee. They get quietly gutted by amendments or buried under revisions that strip them of everything that made them worth supporting. Stay loud. Pay attention to how your rep votes, and not just what they say during campaign season. If they back the bill, thank them. If they don't, call them out. You can also share your story. If you've been denied by NICS, even once, put it on record. Post it. Email your rep. Submit a comment when the bill gets a hearing. Let them hear how broken this process is from the people who've been stuck in it. And if you haven't been denied yet, consider yourself lucky and still speak up. Because one bad data entry, one glitch, or one misfiled court record, and you could be next. This isn't just about a background check. It's about whether the government can block your rights without having to explain itself. HR 2184 puts a clock on that silence. And if we don't push for it now, they're not going to fix it later.